We are live.
Hello everyone. I'm
Hello,
Vinati K.
people.
Hello. Send us some hellos in the chat because we are coming to you from a very bad internet zone right now. So
And
yeah, send us some hellos so that we know that uh, you guys are with us in the chat. So hello everyone. We are Vinati and Sudeshna from the Blurry Creative. Welcome to this live where we are going to talk about being our authentic selves. Sounds simple, isn't really simple. Go ahead.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. One of the hardest things that you can ever do is just be yourself. So
Hmm.
we would like to know if you're watching the replay or if you're watching us live. So do share some love
Yes,
in the comment section. Share
yes,
who you are, where you're from, where you are talking to us. Whatever you're up to, send us something, anything.
yeah. Primarily because as this is about being the authentic self, we did not script anything. So we want to answer questions for you. How you could do it. It only took us 10 years to get to where we are. And barring that is barring all the years that we have already been on this earth. So, yeah, the questions that come in, that's going to make this much more authentic, uh, much more organic, you know. Or we could just speak into the unknown. Disney, don't show us. Go in, like how you can be authentic and why you should be authentic because you have billions of people on this earth, everyone with their own unique ideas, own unique perspectives, own unique business ideas and concepts and whatnot. You have to stand out in this crowd that is being told to follow similar kind of instructions. And you are doing everything right, and somehow that is not working for you. So this is where being authentic works because you are authentic. That itself comes with with a attached word, unique. So when you have something unique to offer, people
Yeah.
will want to buy. Certain people will want to buy that which you're selling. So being authentic isn't hard, but it is kind of hard in this world we live in because there's so much noise that is telling you to do things only a certain way. Like you go to LinkedIn, 90% of LinkedIn comments are this is not Facebook or this is not Instagram, this is LinkedIn. You can't talk about these things on LinkedIn. And like, what else is someone in event management supposed to post about? They will post about parties, right? So it's like we have this weird conditioning going on. We have this weird this is the way it is supposed to be type of logic thing going on all over the place, and that is very detrimental to the authentic self. So we don't want to give into those voices primarily because uh, that is silencing a very important voice deep within you, which is your muse, which is that which you already are. So yeah, Sudeshna, add something to the blah that I just did.
The plans that we have, they never work out unless and until we are in complete awareness. We can completely embody our emotions, and that is what authenticity is all about, right? You have to completely become one with your feelings, become one with your emotions, become one with, you know wherever your mind is, wherever your heart is, just become one with that and just go like, this is a package deal. You cannot pick and choose. If you want to pick and choose, then I'm not the person. And that's the biggest definition of power altogether. knowing that even if someone walked away from you, they are not on the losing end. You still have your superpowers, you still have your gifts, you have everything that you need. Wants
Exactly.
are a totally different ball game altogether. So, you know, and that process itself does not seem to require much, but yet in that particular moment, in that particular situation, we sort of zone out and we become like, "Ugh," and we start seizing like nobody's business. And that's something that happens when we are unable to unlearn all the pain that has happened to us in the past, everything that all that baggage that we carry. For example, I see a lot of women who come to me and go like, but I was told that I was supposed to be a nice giving woman. I am not supposed to be selfish. If I'm caring for my needs,
Right.
it's just me being way too selfish. Others have to come before me. And all of that itself dampens us with this. It's this weird cloud, it's this weird need to feel validated. And from there stems these secondary thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough? What if this is not me? What if this is not who I want to be? Or what are they going to think? Or how am I even going to make this happen? So those things, those just happen way, way, way later. But, first and foremost, let's just focus on our needs first. And it's completely okay to do that. As I say, self care is not selfish at all.
Yeah. See, that is what you talked about. That is one of the most important things in this journey to authenticity, which is stop listening to everything surrounding you and outside you and listen to what is inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a society, we are not really encouraged to focus on our own voice until we grow up. So
Yeah.
when we are young, we are kind of indoctrinated with some very weird beliefs, like girls don't play this or boys don't do art, etc., etc. We're told these very ridiculous things that have nothing to do with the way the world actually works, and that kind of comes and becomes a cognitive bias somewhere in the back of your subconscious mind. Okay, and whenever you are faced with an opportunity, an actual opportunity in real time, that voice somehow kind of comes back out. It comes back out and tells you, oh, you can't do this, or oh, you are not supposed to do this. The worst one is you are not supposed to do this, not you can't do this, it's you're not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of, and combine that with the super awful content consumption habit that most of us have these days, uh, you know that kind of creates a very detrimental effect on your psyche, on who you are supposed to be professionally and personally, right? So that is one thing that you should definitely not let happen to you. Don't let external factors, whether it is someone from your family, someone from your school, someone from your work, someone from the internet, don't let any of these things influence the way you think. And think, that is another thing. You have to think. Otherwise, if you cannot stay alone with your thoughts for like 5 minutes, if you have to scroll boredom away every point of every second, you're not going to be able to be your authentic self, because you are not allowing yourself to be alone with your thoughts. You're not allowing yourself to listen to your inner muse. And to be a successful person in business, especially creative businesses and in life, you have to command your muse, the one that is inside you, going, oh, this is your unique skill, and you have to interpret it. If you don't listen to it, if you don't if you don't let, and because I'm a girl, my muse is a girl. Okay, so I'm gonna call her her. If I don't command my muse, if I don't listen to my muse, she is going to be like, oh, the Binati doesn't respect me. Why should I help her in return? And she is going to go subdue in her shell, and that's just you losing out. Why would you do that? So, yeah.
And when you
Thank you
do
so
that,
much,
what
Carol.
happens
There's a
is,
comment from Carol, by the way. Thank you so much for having us
oh,
here.
yes, I can see that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for supporting us and giving us
Yes.
this opportunity to host this wonderful little gathering for, all of those amazing creatives and all of those inspiring leaders out there. So thank you so much. So
Yes.
another thing is that a lot of people don't realize, when they are talking to themselves, the words they use, the kind of, adjectives they use, the kind of spin that they put on certain events and situations. Our brain is capable of changing that over time. So it's scientifically proven. It happens a lot. Uh, and what it eventually does is it reflects in our energy. So when it starts reflecting in your energy wherever you show up, then that's a clear sign that your body is telling you that you're not one with your spirit. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you follow this, this philosophy. Our body, our mind, and our soul, all of them are distinct entities well within our body. So when these particular entities are not functioning like a well-oiled machine, what it's going to do is internalize that pain, reflect that pain, and project it in so many different ways that it becomes difficult to just stay in charge of yourself. Forget your business, forget your life, forget your relationships. You won't be in charge of yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And no, we personally have so many people that come to us with quarter life crises. Okay, they are 25 to 28-year-olds who are in the midst of their careers, like they're just starting out, not just starting out, but they have been working for less than 5 years, and they hate what they do. As in, they hate the work, but they don't hate the craft, right? And you don't ideally want that. Like if you are a painter and you love to paint, but you hate working at the agency that you are working in or you're working at that point in time. That's not an ideal situation, especially when you are starting out. If this happens to you when you are in your 60s or something, that would make sense that over time fatigue has happened, etc., etc. When you're just starting out, when that is happening to you, that is a symptom of an underlying problem, and that problem, more often than not, is going to be you not being aligned with whatever it is that your actual goals are. And while it does sound like woo woo stuff, this woo woo stuff is very important for leading a successful life, which also involves being happy at work. Okay. And if you focus on just one facet of your life, just one, whether it is work or whether it is happiness or whether it is money or whether it is your personal life, just one of it, that wouldn't really translate well in terms of success, because at any point you'll have to go to any one of these other facets, and that's where all the progress you've made throughout the rest of the day will kind of boom, go down. You don't want that. So whenever it is that you are chasing your professional goals or personal goals or whatever it is, aligning yourself with yourself is very important. So you should give being
Absolutely.
your authentic you should give being your authentic self a try, because like if you look at most of the TED talks these days, okay, the really really good ones, it's about people who were in a bad situation, who were in a traumatic situation, who were in a catastrophic situation, or who were in a life or death situation. And in that situation, they realized, oh, what has my life come to? And I don't want you to wait for you reaching an absolute breaking point, physically, emotionally, mentally, etc., and then make these changes. Why not start from the right foot? It's better to start from the right foot rather than coming to that actualization years down the line. You could have so much success, financial as well as professional, as well as personal. All that years that you kind of passed by just cause somebody told you that this is how it's supposed to be, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you should do, instead of what you actually want to do. Don't wait for catastrophic events. Don't wait for somebody to tell you that you are supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do this. Just do it. Okay? You
Mhm.
literally have nothing to lose. That is the biggest advantage of being in the 21st century, the time that we are in right now. We all have nothing to lose. Okay? If you fail, you fail. That could be the next stepping stone to your success. Look at all the successful stories out there. There are so many stories of failure that these successful people have shared. That's not a coincidence. Okay, that was them trying out all sorts of things to figure out what this authentic self is for them. And the moment they found it, it stuck, right? And whatever it is that your authentic self is, other people don't have to agree with whatever it is that you are interpreting as your authentic self. Like, we have a client right now who was told by her art school teachers and professors that the way she uses color and the way she uses lines in her work is not really what the industry standards are. And she believed it. And she stopped creating vividly colorful, full of lines work that she really liked to do, right? And in that, she faced severe burnout because her artistic expression was not able to come out. And when as an artist that happens to you, just cause somebody said something mean, who really is losing here? Is it the person who gave you the critical feedback, or is it you who internalized the feedback instead of looking at it as what it was, a feedback that needs to be appreciated critically and not just taken at face value, right? So we worked with her, we are working with her, and she's getting there. So I don't want you to be where she was when she came to us. You don't need to wait for the worst case scenario or the burnout or the life or death situation to happen to you to come to this be your authentic self realization. Just try to sit with
Also,
your. Go ahead.
yeah. And also, what there you have to realize that beings fundamentally have polar opposites. They have a whole universe within them. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
motivation and inspiration, these are two sides of a coin, these are two different kinds of energies.
Yeah.
Inspiration is more feminine. You sit around your aura, there is this craft that is truly enduring to you, and then there is this there are ideas on the peripheral area, and when you
Mm.
sit, pause, reflect, you know those ideas, that inspiration comes to you, the ideas come to you. And
Mm.
similarly, there's this downtime where you sort of assimilate those ideas. Okay, and
Yeah.
then the divine masculine takes over. When that divine masculine takes over, what he does is he's responsible for pushing out your message to the world. When you have gifts, you know be okay with embracing them and putting them out there, because
Yeah.
think of it like this. For example, you're a doctor, there's a man dying there. If that man is dead, and you being a doctor, you don't do anything, then that is you disrespecting your art. Similarly, an artist who is stuck with this lack of authenticity, who is stuck in this trap of societal norms and situations and rules and regulations and what have you, what happens is that person forgets to share what they know, share what they have. And as humans, we are supposed to give back to our society that way. We are supposed to
Yep.
give, leave a generation that can carry that momentum forward, build on it, create something more out of it, put their spin on it. Without doing that, you cannot be, you know, you cannot create impact. And that's what we are for. That's why we are burning and thriving in this passion, despite the, you know, competition that we call, the digital marketplaces. There's still 50 other people who are doing the same thing and making money
Yeah.
out of it. You cannot
Yeah.
have less help, and asking for help right away is the best thing that you can do for yourself, because then you can actually focus on building something consistently, doing it with compassion and the energy that it deserves. And it comes from a place of love, and when art comes from a place of love, it automatically creates, it creates wonderful impact. Think Mona Lisa. Think
Yeah.
about the number of people who are currently thinking about Mona Lisa and her mysterious smile, you know
Yeah.
so that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of art, that comes from that, warm, gooey place in our heart that is oozing with blood. So yeah,
Yeah.
create more, create as much as you want. It doesn't matter. Shitty art is better than no art, as Vinati says.
Yes. Shitty art is better than no art. And every great in human history. And it's not just about artists, okay? It's about everybody else, whether it was the scientists or the painters or the dancers or the politicians or the writers, all of them. Every person that history took a note of, it was not just based on their
Mm-hmm.
actions, it was also based off of their behavior. Okay? We know this about them, not just from autobiographies, not just from biographies, not just from papers, but from letters they wrote to their friends. It's just them being their badass selves in a society that was known to behead people for being themselves. You couldn't be left-handed, okay? Back in the day, like really back in the day, something you couldn't really help, but you couldn't really be left-handed. Otherwise, people would brand you as a devil and do all sorts of weird things. And still, Leonardo da Vinci, left-handed, gay, very weird, had all these crazy ideas, did everything in his power to express his artistic abilities, right? That is why he is Leonardo da Vinci. That is why the Medici family hired him. That is why the Roman Catholic Church hired him. Okay, they didn't hire him because he was an Instagram influencer or something. They hired him because his way of interpreting art, his way of interpreting expressions, his way of creating color, his way of making people feel when they saw his work. th- all of that, all of that made people want to invest in that which he was selling. So learn from history, learn the nice lessons from history along with all the negative lessons as well. Because these days we keep hearing about the negative stories. Uh, there are positive stories too, right? Learn from these stories of impact. Learn from these great humans that came before us who literally, I'm not even being metaphorical, who literally faced death in being their authentic selves, because, and that is what we remember them for. That is why their name has gone down in history. And what better definition of success exists out there than, being immortalized in time, like watching two nerds talk about you on a Facebook Live years after you're dead, you know? So this is it. Don't wait for permissions from very random people or people that are important to you, because I know validation is very important in life, especially when we are talking about our loved ones. You want your parents to acknowledge that which you do. You want your mentors and your teachers to acknowledge that whatever it is you're doing has merit, all of that. And sometimes that acknowledgement doesn't come. Sometimes that validation doesn't come. And I know it hurts. Okay. I know it hurts. Okay. But it is not physically and emotionally possible to please every person on this planet. No matter what you do, even if it is the most conventional thing that you do, there will be someone out there who is going to come and, do the snake, as I say, come and kind of spit venom and then slide away. You know, you shouldn't. I know you want the validation, but you shouldn't let it control you. You shouldn't let it guide your discuss. You shouldn't let it guide your decisions, because the only person who gets hurt there is you. The person who has said this, there there would be no impact to them. The person who has influenced the way you think, no impact to them. Only you. The one who gets impacted is
And
you.
another thing is, no one gets hired to eat a piece of chocolate cake. So, even if you're doing the most wonderful job in this whole wide world, people
You
are
wrong.
not gonna
People
like
get
you.
hired.
The fact.
People get hired to eat chocolate cakes. Dude, there's literally an internship out there where you have to sleep for 9 hours. Okay, this is in India. You have to be an Indian from the age of 18. You have to sleep for 9 hours on camera, and you will get paid 1 lakh Indian rupees per month for this. This is no joke. People are being paid to sleep for 9 hours. There was a Twitch
If you
streamer.
are
Go ahead.
if you're still doubtful, go look up this company called WakeFit. Okay, they are paying approximately somewhere close to, I guess, $2,000, $3,000 just to watch people sleep. It's ridiculous.
Twitch.
It's ridiculous.
Very recently, there was a
So
Twitch stream where a Twitch streamer is sleeping, and people are playing alarm sounds and their pets are barking and meowing and all of that to wake this guy up. That guy made 13,000 US dollars on Twitch just sleeping. This is not a popular streamer. This is a random dude on the internet. So,
I mean, if we can do that, then there's no
be
real
your
question. I mean,
authentic self. Be your authentic. If your authentic self is a sleepy potato, go for it. Just, just acknowledge what that is. Authentic self. It could be anything, even if it sounds ridiculous. There are so many jobs that exist today that that we wouldn't even imagine the job of a sommelier selecting wines. That is your job. Okay, that is all you have to do. You have to smell wines, you have to select them, and then you have to recommend them. We wouldn't really assume this to be a job, but if you're passionate about alcohol, if you understand alcohol, specifically wine, why not? If that is your passion, why not go for it? Right?
yeah.
So find out what your passion is. It could be the weirdest, conventionally speaking, the weirdest thing out there. And you will find someone who will want to buy it. And I'll give you a personal example here. No joke. I put out a post on LinkedIn, I think more than a year ago. It had this very weird, sarcastic Victorian English speaking language, and it had 3 impressions, as in 3 likes, no comments. And the reason why I remember this is because one of the biggest clients that I have in ghostwriting to date came to me via that post. They did not engage in that post. They did not comment on that post. They didn't do anything about it, but they saw that weird, sarcastic Victorian English language, and they were like, "Oh, she shall help me bring my book to fruition." And so I shall contact her. And this person did. So if you are going to not bring out your voice and put it out there, you are missing out on professional niches that don't exist yet. You don't want that. You don't want to be that person sitting in a bar 50 years down the line going, I had this idea. I could have invented Facebook. I had this exact same thing. This could have been me. Don't be that person. Just try it. You have nothing to lose because internet has so much content these days. Even if you fail, your failure is going to get buried. Okay, it's going to get buried like this. So use that to your advantage. Use it to find what your authentic self is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's weird. People like that inclusive exclusivity that comes with all this weirdness with these likings. And once there was this guy, he was I was rejoicing the fact that he was a fellow Potterhead, and he liked plants just as much as I did. Okay, now you would expect that person to go all like that isn't even relevant, that isn't even needed. And I went, listen, at the end of the day, I know one thing more about you as a client, not as a client, as a person. Yeah, we have one more thing to talk about than the usual roles and responsibilities stuff that we are going to share. And that's what counts. That's what is going to help us create that communication. That's going to help us, help each other out in so many different ways. And similarly, I started posting infographics back in 2020 on my IG account. This guy, he and we would discuss coffee. He eventually removed his account, but we had exchanged numbers. He comes up to me like, what, a year later, and he came up to me and goes, listen, I really need this particular piece of copy written. Can you help me out? But unfortunately, I was not taking any done for you work, so I happily recommended someone else. So these things, they come your way. Similarly, I think I told you about this. A corporate lawyer offered to write an email to a client who was just refusing to pay up. He went
Yeah.
ahead, sent out that email. The company had to pay his legal fees, and he was like, hey, I mean, I can give you all the advantage that I want because we have that, you know, our relationship is not confined within the ways of professional territory. We bonded as people first and business owners later. And that's the magic of it. That's the magic of being authentic. Share hobbies, share weird interests, share weird little stuff from your internet browser. Like for example, you could be looking at different kinds of apples the other day, and you can share about that. Talk about anything and everything that you want, because at the end of the day, it's about cultivating relationships. You don't
Yeah.
want to be stuck somewhere in prison or something, and you have to go out and keep looking and looking and looking for contacts that can help you out there. What you need is going on, your smart dial or something, and going all boop, this person is the perfect person who can get me out. And they can just call up their lawyer, and they will go like, hey, I'm coming for you, I'm gonna rescue you today. Just wait for like 10-15 minutes, I'll be there. So that's the name of the game. That's about communicating and building off of that, so that you can call yourself truly prosperous and truly satisfied. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's about it. There are so many examples. Okay, most of
Mhm.
YouTube is about this. People creating content that you can agree with, you can't agree with. That's up to interpretation. YouTube, most of social media influencer crowd that we see, and I'm not just talking about the model influencers. I'm also talking about niche influencers, like say the bullet journaling influencers. People who just do great bullet journaling, or the booktube influencer crowd, people who read and review books properly, uh, or all of this, right?
Mhm.
There's This is just an extension of what authentic expression can do. So even if you don't want to risk your current professional life, chasing whatever it is you want to chase, start that, start this, exploring what you like, exploring your authentic self. Start it as something you do at least 1 hour every day. Start small, you know. Start by 5 minutes of meditation, in the sense of not even meditation, just sit without moving, sit without doing anything with your thoughts, and see what comes to your head. See how many thoughts per second are just going by. If you are a pen and paper person, jot all of that down, right? And try to make sense of that. Try to make sense of what your brain did in just 5 minutes of you not doing anything, and
Yeah.
build up build up from there to becoming what your authentic self is. I know it sounds easy, and I wish it were easy, but it isn't. Right? It isn't. You you should do it, in the sense that if you want to be happy and successful, this is one sure short way to that happening for you. And if you feel like you need help doing that, might as well reach out. The internet is a wonderful place for that. There are so many communities that you can find. There are so many coaches, there are so many mentors, there are so many uh, personal experiences out there that you could go through to really see
Memoir,
what that.
all of that boring stuff as well. And there are plenty of people creating content on and around it. There are people who are talking about different phases of their lives as they're trying to overcome it.
Yes.
But the key is that they are asking for help. They are seeking to embody that person that they want to become.
Yeah,
Authenticity focuses on becoming the person that they want to become.
exactly.
And that is how law of attraction works as well. That is
Mm-hmm.
what that is all about. It is about manifesting, bringing it closer and closer and closer to you until you become one with that energy. And when you become one with that energy, it energy just flows. It flows from your subconscious to your
It
actions, and then
radiates out of you.
yes, and you can almost feel that glowing warmth around your body. I mean,
Yeah.
think I am sassy and I know it, and I don't give an flying F about what you have to say with me. That's real
Don't
power.
say
That
flying F. Say flying fuck. We are being authentic. You
all
don't need
right,
to censor yourself.
all right.
You know,
Don't give a flying
people.
fuck about me. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
There you go.
then you can just go like, hey, you gotta catch a you gotta watch this show. You enjoyed it. You might as well pay for the ticket on your way back. I mean, doesn't hurt. If you're going to
Exactly.
drain my energy, if you're going to want my attention, if you're going to waste my time, then you might as well buy groceries for a week, or you might as well buy you know pay my phone bill, or even pay for blah 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 blah, or I can just send you the invoice. Which one would you prefer? I love hard cash, so if that's what you're gonna offer, I'm okay with that too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And the internet is your. I mean, I know that we have such bad stories about the internet floating around, and I know that we need to be cautious with these things. But as she mentioned, the law of attraction. The moment you realize that there is something you want to do, that is that is step number one. Realizing what you want to do. Step number
hmm,
two is realizing that you will not be able to do anything successfully on your own, right? So you have to reach out. So when kid me realized that I want to learn Japanese, I went, oh, I want to learn Japanese on video game chat rooms. This is 2007, okay? And internet is in that dial-up stage where you had to leave it on the entire night to watch one YouTube video. So I reached out and the internet gave back. People helped me learn the language. Absolute strangers helped me learn the language for free. Okay? The world is a nice place, irrespective of what platforms and what your social media feeds have you believe. Just, just find, just find this courage within you to project this out there, which is, I want to do this. I want to learn this. I want to sell this. I want to do this, whatever. Just put it out there and the help
the
is going
biggest
to show up.
example, the biggest example for this are follow for follow threads. Sometimes people
Yeah,
just randomly follow you. People just find you,
lions,
see you, find you. They just say,
the
yes,
open
bring it up.
networkers.
Yes. That's
They
that's
know
the kind
what
of
they
energy
want.
we want.
They
Mhm.
know what they want. They want followers. So that is what they're chasing. We are not going to judge that. You shouldn't judge that. And it couldn't, it doesn't have to be what you believe in. I mean, we both personally are not fans of that trend like at all. But if that is what you want, figure out how to ask for it. You can't just
Mm.
expect people to respond to the work that you are creating without putting call to action in your work. Your reader or your listener or your viewer is not going to know that you are looking for feedback on the work unless you ask them. So have this courage to unlearn all the bad habits that you have from your past, all this bad conditioning that we have, which states that you have to be self-reliant all the time, all of that. Unlearn everything in that genre and just have the courage to, as Reshna said, ask. Have the courage to ask for support, for help, for anything that you need, really.
Anything and everything. You can have everything. You just need to go speak up, use the words. Use the words that are already inside you, use the words that, you've spent so many years biting, chewing, munching on, and sort of, realize that if you ask for help, help will be given. And that's not just at Hogwarts, that's the entire freaking world. If you want to curse, there are people who have made cursing a niche. There are people who have made, you'd be surprised. Let me give you an example. I have this friend. She is a product stylist. She specializes in flat lay photos. She has never been paid in money to take shots for a company. All right. Then one day I just tell her that curate this little insight screenshots, put it in this one PDF on Canva, and just glue it together. Like, put it together and send it out to 10-15 companies. She did that, and she had probably gotten done with 4-5 companies, writing formal emails to 4-5 companies, and she had 3 paid deals at the end of the day. And they were, probably what easiest 800-900 bucks per deal that she has ever made. The company was there are creators who have companies lining up with, can we just repost this? And with a simple twist of an email that, I understand that you appreciate my work. I understand that, you want to repost it, but please feel free to reach out to me via mail. That simple fact that they could, redirect them to their mailbox, have a private conversation over just agreeing to do something. They received. They've been rewarded in return. So, there are people. There was this one client I had. He wanted to write a book, and he didn't have a proper publishing house that wanted to take on the script. He was struggling to find an agent. He reached out to me. Within the first month, he was done with 3 revisions of the book. The book was ready, and it was picked up by one of the biggest literary agents. And the literary agents put him in touch with Little Brown, and Little Brown offered him a contract. He's sitting. He's writing the second book now. Similarly, there was this one person. She reached out to me and she was like, "Sudeshna, I want to have a cutesy stationery store." I was like, "Open it." She started selling on Etsy recently, and she's doing well. So even just saying things out loud, that makes a whole lot of difference. The more you keep saying it, the more is that willpower within you sort of strengthens your desire. It makes you want to do, like, I want to do more. I want to do more out of this. I don't want to do 10 times more than what I've already done. And that's what matters. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is making me think about all of those little times when, you a little part of you goes, I could have been that. I mean, you remember those moments from your past as well, Vinati, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's giving me those.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the main reasons I chose to freelance instead of ever going to a job. So I'm an engineer by profession, and instead of going into engineering, and I was sitting in the placement departments of my college. So all the jobs that were happening on campus via my college, that was happening via a group of 15 people that ran the placement team. I was one of those 15 people. And in spite of that, in spite of having access to whatever job I wanted in electronics and communication engineering, I realized that wasn't my authentic self. I knew it. I knew it from, I think, the second year of my engineering, that while I could follow instructions as an engineer, I wouldn't be a good engineer, right? So once you realize
Mhm.
and recognize what your authentic self is or what your authentic self isn't, that is as important as what your authentic self is. Defining what you absolutely are not.
Absolutely.
I realized that, yeah, this is not me. I started exploring any and every opportunity that came my way, in terms of uh, whether it was management opportunities with ISEC, or it was technical opportunities with Robocon, or it was creative opportunities with TechFest and all of this. And then I realized that what I really, 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 really love to do above everything else is writing. So as soon as I was done with engineering, I began that. I got on Fiverr and I started putting up bids. Hire me for non-fiction writing services for engineering products. You know, that's how I began. Realizing that the the vocation I had selected wasn't really my calling in life. So while I did graduate as an engineer, I shouldn't and I didn't want to be one for the rest of my life. Second,
Because
explore.
the kind of pressure you would have put on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you are doing something you don't really enjoy, you are going to have that guilt at the back of your mind and then in a corner of your heart. Why don't I enjoy my work that most of my colleagues uh, derive so much pleasure from, or they are so driven to get this project or deadline met? And here I am forcing myself to it, setting 10 alarms to get up in the morning, all of this. See, when you are in something you like to do, when you are passionate about something, you don't need external things like phone alarms, reminders, all this to motivate you. The motivation is going to come from inside. You're going to be like, when can I get up and get back to writing? That writing is, passion for me. So that's why I'm going to use writing
Mhm.
as the thing here. It could be anything for you. So recognize all these signs that
Mhm.
your body is giving you. Okay. I have a friend who has a book coming out soon. Uh, and it's called Already Enough, and her book is entirely about this. Her book is entirely about this, that your body loves you so much that sometimes she is going to protect you from you. Okay. And when you see these
Mhm.
things happen, when you experience burnout, when you have uh, this anxiety, this Monday morning dread, that's your body giving you symptoms. That's your body telling you, "Oi, you are doing something you're not supposed to do. Stop it and do what you are actually supposed to do." You know.
Mhm.
So you have to learn to recognize these symptoms, these often physiological symptoms, because you will hate going to work. You'll probably hate going to work. You will dislike most people in your industry. All of this. These are symptoms. You don't want to ignore them, and you want to actually sit with your thoughts and realize what this actually is, what the underlying cause behind this dissatisfaction is. Because otherwise, you're just going down a destructive path. You are wasting time, you are wasting energy, and you are giving away wealth and prosperity that could have been yours if only you were courageous enough. So the choice is yours. You know, whether you
Could not
want
agree.
to, yeah, yeah. Ignore the two weird Indian girls on the Facebook Live. Indian girls don't care. You know, they have nothing to lose. They are going to wrap this live up and go to sleep, right? And they're going to wake up tomorrow morning and go back to their work of helping creatives command their muses. You know, of for both of us, it's writing, of creating, right? We both love gardening as well, so we are both avid plant moms. So we will also be doing that as well.
Mhm.
So we we, we are not going to be affected even in the least by uh, what you do or what you don't do. But this is where I'm going to encourage you to just get a note out, get a notebook out, you know, get 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 all the noise and the chaos in your head on paper and see it. See what your mind is dealing with all the time just because you are afraid of being who you are, right? So, uh,
Mhm.
if in the future we we have the opportunity, we can talk about chakra alineations and you know how your mind and body have have an actual energy map that kind of gets out of alignment by you not doing certain things. And then you do stuff like get a pedicure. The first alignment is going to come in place. It sounds very silly, but
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
have been proven to work. Okay, so self care, not selfish. Spending time alone with your thoughts, thinking about what you really want to do, not selfish. So just do it. Just spend 15 minutes, watch one less Netflix show this week, and think about what your authentic self is, and then little by little try to express it. Uh, if not anything else, just shout it out into the void that is the internet. There are platforms like the void of the internet where you can literally say anything and it will disappear. So if you want to start there, you know, get over this fear because there's nothing scary about being yourself, at least not anymore.
Mhm. The thing is, we are always looking for that perfect 0, 0, that
Mm.
origin where we can go and scream, where we can start, and that's probably why we love New Year so much. We want to have that
Mm.
clean slate, that fresh start, that fresh vibe. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, you cannot start from ground zero. That would require a rebirth, and for that you
Yeah.
have to die first. You have to end this life first. So all of that perfection that you're seeking, it's never going to happen. So start today,
Mm.
start wherever you are. Do it in little ways. If you want, start with saying no to something that you have been saying yes to for the longest time forever. you know I think a client, she came up to me and she was like, okay, I'm done, I'm sorted, I'm firing this client. Why? This doesn't align with me. So Deshna, this doesn't align with me. And then I went, woman, you are just listening to yourself. Listening to yourself does not have to come with that kind of unhealthy attachment towards this one result. It has to be free flowing, something that makes you go like, I can breathe. I can just be myself without, you know, expecting something to come and tell me that, nah,
Yeah.
this does not sound right. This does not sound. Wear makeup, don't wear makeup. Get a pedicure, don't get pedicure. Meditate if you want
Choices.
to. If you don't want to meditate, write. If you don't want to write, do anything. Everything is a choice. Living and dying is a choice. There are people who are living physically, but they are mentally dead. So while you still have the wind beneath your wings, you might as well live a little, won't you?
Yep. Agreed.
I'm so much lighter after this chat. Thank you
Of course.
everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone who is listening to us. If you are a part of the replay squad, drop us #replay so that we can come back to your questions if you have any, or feel free to reach out to either one of us on our personal Instagrams, on LinkedIn, or anywhere really. We are active on Clubhouse as well. So just, look up the comments. You'll find all the relevant links there.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Virinti, do you have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. I just
Yes, yay for
here's to being your authentic self. Do it.
I'm all, feeling very, what are they called? Cheer girly? Or cheerleader? Cheerleadery? Is that even a word? I don't
think so,
know.
no.
I mean, doesn't even matter at this.
You are feeling pompous. The bombus is feeling pompous.
Yes. And this is when we go back and do something creative, and create anything really. You never know.
You never know.
Right, people. Thank you so much.
I'm saying bye with the hand thing. Be like bye.
Okay.
You have to end the live now.